to you today about an issue that has been occurring for a very long time and is still in fact occurring today. And this issue is women earning unequal pay within the workforce. If many of you guys are unaware, women are currently experiencing unequal pay within the workforce. Right now, for every dollar a man earns, a woman is earning 82 cents to that dollar. And although over the years it has increased for women, stating that they used to earn 59 cents for every man's dollar, it is still not equal. As you can see on this chart, education is not what matters. Gender is what is causing this inequality. A woman with the same level of education as a man is still getting paid less. A woman with a master's degree or more, as you can see on this chart, is getting paid $83,000, compared to a man with a master's degree or more on this chart is getting paid $121,000. This chart was made in 2017. This is the most recent chart. In no way does this represent equality. If anything, it represents gender discrimination. Women have been fighting for equal pay for many years, but in the end, it's not the pay that they are fighting for. It's the equality and the understanding of others to realize that they are not less just because they are women. One of the very first protests to occur happened around the time of World War I. Men were sent off to war, and women were told to fill the jobs that these men had left, such as train conducting and bus conducting, and they would go and they filled these jobs, and they were doing the same amount of work, putting the same effort in, and they were getting paid less. When the women came to the realization that they were getting paid less, they decided to boycott and not show up to work one day. Eventually, people weren't able to get to where they needed to go, such as work, the grocery store, and they complained. And employers soon realized how valuable these women were, and they told them to come back and they would give them bonus pay. Not equal pay, but bonus pay. And women, although it was not the equal pay that they were hoping for, they still looked at it as an accomplishment and an understanding of their worth. Women earned many activists due to this boycott. Not only women activists, but men activists also. Protests and strikes that fight for equal pay are not fighting for pay, but equality and the understanding that women are not less than a man. Around the time that John F. Kennedy was president, he had a woman by the name Esther Peterson who worked under him, and she created a commission. And this commission had a coalition, and this coalition was to recognize any wrongs that were being put on women within society. Eventually, under this coalition, she drafted the Equal Pay Act of 1963, and thanks to John F. Kennedy, she was able to pass this act, with his help, of course. And although we are in 2020 and we are still seeing unequal pay, this act was a major accomplishment. And this act stated that gender discrimination through unequal wage, is not okay. Many protests and strikes occur to help fight for equal pay. One of the most famous strikes is Women's Strike for Equality, which was organized by Betty Friedan. And if many of you guys do not know who Betty Friedan is, she founded the National Organization for Women along with other women. And this National Organization for Women, which is also called NOW, is still currently around today. And this informs people of the oppressions that women face, not only unequal pay, but suffrage and everything else that women have faced in their lifetime. And so anybody who does not know much about the unequal pay can go to this organization, which is non-profited, and find out information about it. There are other associations too, such as the American Association University of Women, who also do things such as this. However, the Women's Strike for Equality that Betty Friedan founded under this organization did things such as held teach-ins and sit-ins, and what they did is they would go to all-male bars, or what was considered all-male bars, and women would just sit there and prove their equality by showing just because this is an all-male bar does not mean that I cannot come in. Men are not superior to women is the point that they were trying to prove. They were not necessarily trying to prove that they needed equal pay, but their equality, yet again stating that it is not the pay that they are fighting for, but the equality. The American Association University Women, also known as the AAUW, does many other things other than just the National Organization for Women. They do things beyond what NOW does. They hold book sales, and these book sales are like fundraisers to fundraise money, and this money goes to their classes that they hold. And these classes are to inform women on how to go to their employers and speak about the inequalities that they are facing within the workforce, and how to do it in a good and very professional way. Associations such as this that are non-profited are great, and they help women and encourage them to speak up, because they are not going to get anywhere if they do not speak up about the inequalities that they are facing. Overall, what one can see about women through this oppression of unequal pay is their strength and their persistence, and how after so many years of fighting this unequal pay, they have not given up. And it is not about the pay that they are fighting for, but about the equality. Do you think the fight for equal pay is truly a fight for pay or a fight for equality?
I believe it's a fight for equality. Women have never been viewed as an equal to a man. While the pay is important and would be nice, it would be also as nice to be viewed just as equally. A woman works just as hard, if not harder, than a man, because they are also the ones that are usually raising the children in the home.
Do you think the fight for equal pay is truly a fight for pay or a fight for equality?
I think it's a fight for equality so that then in the future they can not be seen as less than men and get equal amount of pay.
Fight for equal pay is truly a fight for pay or a fight for equality?
I think it's actually a little of both.
Why do you think that?
Because women and men do the same jobs, and women seem to get paid less for doing the same jobs, and they strive to get more pay to do the same jobs. So, like two doctors, one's a man, one's a woman. The women may get paid less. This has been going on for a long time. I think there was an Equal Pay Act in 2010 that said that men and women performing the same jobs should get equal pay, but it still seems to be a struggle even to the day.
Find out what it means to me.